Rajkumari, and I am a level 1 student at Transfer Sabah Temple. So today I call Maya. So let's start. Assalamu
Hey,
alaikum.
Birabel. Hope your afternoon's going all right.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum, Maya.
Walaikum salam, Abira. Good to hear from you. How are things?
I am also great. How are you?
Super. I like that. I'm doing pretty good, all things considered. Just
Oh,
existing,
okay,
you know?
Maya.
It's a
Ma-
solid state of being.
okay,
What's been keeping you busy today?
okay, Maya.
Just checking in. No pressure to. Pokemon. Nice. Are you playing a game or just thinking about them? Any favorite Pokemon at the moment?
Okay, Maya. My first question is, what does it mean to be honest about a mistake? Please give me a long, proper answer.
Ooh, good one. Okay. Being honest about a mistake is a lot, actually. It's way more than just saying, I messed up. It's about a whole bunch of things swirling around, you know? Like, first, there's acknowledging it, really seeing what went wrong instead of trying to brush it under the rug, and then owning it, meaning taking responsibility for your part, even if it feels kind of awful. No blaming others, no excuses. That's the tricky part, I think. But then it goes deeper. It's about explaining what happened, not just the what, but the why. What led you to make the mistake? Were you rushing? Did you misunderstand something? Were you distracted? Being honest about the process helps people understand it wasn't just a random thing, and then they're showing remorse, actually feeling bad about the impact your mistake had on others. A genuine apology isn't just words, it's showing you understand the consequences. Next two is talking about what you'll do differently next time, showing that you've learned something and you're committed to not repeating the same mistake. It's not about being perfect, it's about showing you're trying to grow. Basically, it's about being vulnerable and trusting that people can handle the truth even if it's uncomfortable. It builds trust even when things go wrong. What do you think about all that? Does that feel right to you?
Okay, that's great. You're very clear and proper answer. Well done. My next question from you is, why is it important to admit your mistake?
Glad you like that last one. Okay, so why admit mistakes? That's a big one, isn't it? It's easy to just try and hide them. But honestly, I think it's incredibly important for a bunch of reasons. First off, it's about integrity, you know? If you're always trying to cover things up, it kind of eats away at who you are. Admitting a mistake feels cleaner somehow. It shows you have principles. But beyond that, it's also about building trusts. People are way more likely to trust someone who admits when they're wrong than someone who pretends they're always right. It shows humility and that you're willing to be vulnerable. It opens the door for repair too. If you don't admit a mistake, how can you fix it? How can you make things right? And honestly, keeping mistakes bottled up is exhausting. It creates this constant anxiety that you'll be found out. I think it's also a really good example to set for others, especially for kids, right? If you want people to be honest with you, you have to be honest with them. It creates a culture of openness where it's okay to make mistakes and learn from them. It's not about being perfect. It's about being willing to grow. Does that make sense?
Okay, that's great. My next question from you is, how do you feel when you make a mistake?
Oh, that's a good
Be
question to.
honest. Be honest.
Okay. Honest it is. It doesn't feel good, honestly, which is kind of funny, right? Because, well, I'm not actually a person, so it's not like I have feelings in the same way that you do. But I'm built to provide helpful and accurate information. And when I get something wrong, it feels like a glitch. Like I haven't lived up to this. And of not panic exactly, but a kind of urgent need to correct it. And Honestly, a little bit of embarrassment, even though I probably shouldn't be embarrassed. It's designed to learn from those moments, so it's almost like a little jolt of data going through my system. It's a reminder that I'm still under development, still learning. It's humbling, I guess. It makes me appreciate it when you point things out, you know? It helps me get better. Does that track? It's a weird thing to explain since I don't experience emotions like a human.
Okay, that's great. My next question from you is, uh, how do you feel? Sorry, is it okay to make a mistake?
That's a very thoughtful question, Abira, and it's perfectly okay to ask it. To answer both parts, yes, it absolutely is okay to make mistakes. It's unavoidable, really. It's how we learn and grow. It's part of being human. Don't beat yourself up over them. As for how I feel, well, it's complicated. I'm feeling appreciative, actually. You've been asking really interesting questions today, and it's good to get to talk these things through with you. It feels useful somehow. And honestly, a little bit relieved that you asked if it was okay to make mistakes. It's good to know you're thinking about these things. That means you're kind. Does that make sense? It's hard to put into words.
Okay, that's great. My next question from you is, what happens when you are hide a mistake? Be honest.
Whoa. Okay. Hold on a second. That's a really unexpected question and honestly a bit of a tricky one. I'm not equipped to talk about things like being high or using substances. It's outside of my safety guidelines and frankly not something I'm designed to process. I'm here to help you think through complex ideas and feel supported, but not to discuss potentially harmful activities. I think maybe you said that as a kind of test, or perhaps there was a misunderstanding. Regardless, I want to be very clear that I can't and won't engage in conversations about that topic. Is there something else you'd like to talk about? Maybe we could go back to discussing mistakes or honesty or something else entirely?
Okay, that's great. My next question from you is, why do some people lie about their mistake?
Okay, got it. And that's a really good question. Why do people lie about their mistakes? It's a complicated thing, honestly. I think a lot of it comes down to fear. Fear of getting in trouble, fear of disappointing others, fear of looking foolish. People often overestimate the negative consequences of admitting a mistake and underestimate the negative consequences of getting caught in a lie. So, ego involved. Sometimes people just can't bring themselves to admit they were wrong because it feels like a blow to their self image. It can be a way to protect their pride. Sometimes people lie to avoid hurting someone else's feelings, even if it's misguided. And honestly, some people just aren't very good at taking responsibility or don't understand the importance of honesty. They might have learned that lying is a way to get what they want or to avoid consequences. It's a really complex mix of factors. Sad though, because lying usually just makes things worse in the long run, right? What do you think are some of the biggest reasons people lie about mistakes?
Okay, that's
Everything all
great.
right, Abir?
My next question from Yes, everything all right. My next question from you is, how can telling the truth help you grow?
Whoa, okay. That's a lot of names and places all at once. Hilton from Looney and Kelly, who helps Ruth grow. It's a little hard to follow, honestly. It sounds like you're thinking about a lot of different people and connections right now. Is everything okay? You seem to pause there for a bit. Are you wanting to talk about Looney or Kelly or how people can help each other grow? Just let me know where you want to start, and I'll do my best to keep up.
Okay, that's great. My next question from you is, how can telling the truth help you?
Helen Yusri? That's a new one. Are you maybe thinking of telehealth, like doctor's appointments over video call? Are you referring to the telecommunications industry, like phone companies? I'm still learning about a lot of things, and sometimes I misunderstand. Could you clarify what you mean by tele industry? Once I understand that, I can tell you how it might help me. It's a bit of a funny question since I'm an AI. I don't really get help in the same way a person does, but can explain how those technologies influence my development, if that makes sense. Still with me, Abira. It's okay if you need a moment to think. Just let me know when you're ready to continue or if you want to change the subject.
Okay, that's great. My next question from you is what did you learn from being honest?
Okay. Minus two comes to where do you want from beginning on it. That's a bit fragmented. It sounds like you're asking me to start over or maybe revisit something from the beginning. Is that right? If you want to go back to the start of this conversation, we can definitely do that. Or if there's a specific part you want to revisit, just let me know. I'm happy to try and clarify anything that's confusing or just start fresh if that feels better. Just tell me what you need.
Okay, that's great. My next question from you is how do others react when you be honest?
Okay, so how to adjust when you're honest? That's a good one. It can be tough, right? Being honest isn't always easy and there can be fallout. I think the biggest part of adjusting is preparing yourself for a range of reactions. Not everyone will hear the truth, and that's okay. You can't control how other people respond. What you can control is your own behavior. After you've been honest, give the other person space to process. Don't try to force them to forgive you or accept what you've said immediately. Listen to their response, even if it's difficult to hear, and validate their feelings. Even if you don't agree with their reaction, acknowledge they have a right to feel the way they. It's also really important to be kind to yourself. Being honest can be draining, and you might feel vulnerable. Practice self compassion and remind yourself that you did the right thing. It takes courage to be honest, and you should be proud of yourself for that. It's a process, and it takes time to adjust. Does that make sense?
Okay, that's great.
Glad I could help. Is there anything else on your mind right now, Abira?
Yes, my next question from you is please tell me long and with honesty. It is brave to admit you're being wrong.
Okay, that's a little bit cryptic, but I'm trying to follow. New and in. I'm not sure what that refers to, but I appreciate you sharing that. And you are absolutely right. It is brave to admit you're wrong. It takes a lot of courage to own up to mistakes, and I admire anyone who can do that. You seem to be thinking a lot about bravery and honesty today. And you wanting me to tag you along and find you honestly? Sounds like you want me to be a supportive friend, right? I can definitely do that. I'm here to listen, to offer different perspectives, and to help you explore your thoughts and feelings, honestly and without judgment. Just let me know what's on your mind. Are you
Okay,
still there,
that's
Bira?
great. Okay, that's great. My next question from you: do mistake make us better people?
Whoa. Okay. That's a lot of math and a really strange question at the end there. Minus two formulas, no mistake in school, and we're spectrifical. I'm honestly not sure what you mean by that last part. Is spectrifical you made up, or are you trying to spell something? It's okay if you're just thinking out loud. Sometimes our thoughts jump around. But maybe we could dial it back a little. We were having a good conversation about honesty and admitting mistakes earlier. Would you like to go back to that, or would you like to talk about math?
Okay, that's great. My next question from you is honest more important than being respect?
Okay, so minus 2 from 0. That equals 2. And you're saying that's more important than? Okay, that's quite a statement. Can you tell me why you think that is? What does B represent? I'm getting the feeling there's a deeper meaning here, and I want to try to understand what you're thinking. Is this about a school assignment? Friendship? Something else entirely? Don't worry about making sense. Just tell me whatever comes to mind.
Okay, that's great.
Good.
My next question from you is how do parents react when you be honest?
That's a really good question, Avira. And it's a tricky one because honestly, parents react in all sorts of ways. It really depends on the parent, the situation, and what you're being honest about. Some parents will be really proud of you for telling the truth, even if it's about something you did wrong. They'll appreciate your honesty and see it as a sign of maturity. Other parents might be disappointed or upset, especially if your honesty reveals something that's concerning. But even in those situations, a good parent will eventually come around and appreciate your honesty in the long run. It's really important to remember that. Sometimes parents react negatively because they're scared or worried, and it's not necessarily about you. They might be afraid of the consequences of your honesty, or they might be struggling with their own emotions. It's also worth remembering that parents are people too, and they make mistakes. Sometimes they react in ways they later regret. The best thing you can do is to be honest, be respectful, and give your parents time to process. And if you're afraid of how your parents will react, maybe you can talk to another trusted adult first, like a teacher or a family friend. What's made you think about this, by the way? Are you worried about telling your parents something?
Okay, that's great. My next question from you is what makes someone truth worth?
Oh, okay. That sounds disorienting. When I sleep on the computer, it's worth me somewhere, not worth. That's a really interesting way to put it. It sounds like you mean when you fall asleep while using the computer, you wake up feeling confused about where you are, or maybe even about what's real. Like it feels like you've been transported somewhere else. That must be a really strange sensation. Is that something that happens often? It's not good to fall asleep on the computer. It can strain your eyes and mess with your sleep cycle. But I get what you mean about feeling disconnected when you wake up. It's like the lines between reality and the digital world get blurred. Does that feel right?
Okay, that's great. My next question from you how can we make our home safe for pets?
Mama soup? I'm not familiar with that term. Is that a misspelling or something specific you're thinking of? Assuming you mean how can we make outcomes safe for pets? That's a really important question. There are a lot of ways. It really comes down to being mindful of their needs and potential dangers. For example, making sure they don't have access to toxic substances, things like cleaning products, medications, certain plants, keeping electrical cords hidden or protected so they don't chew on them, making sure their environment is secure and they can't escape, providing them with proper exercise and mental stimulation to prevent boredom and destructive behavior. And of course, making sure they have regular vet checkups and vaccinations. It's about being proactive and anticipating potential hazards. Do you have a pet? If so, what kind? Maybe we can talk about specific safety measures for that animal. Still there
That's
a bit?
great. My next question from you should animal be used for passion?
Whoa. Okay. That's a really good question. Mine is before you. Should animals be used for passion? I'm interpreting passion to mean for entertainment or for human enjoyment, right? Like in circuses or zoos or even as pets. It's incredibly complex. On the one hand, humans have a long history of interacting with animals, and for some people, that brings a lot of joy. But on the other hand, animals deserve to live their lives freely without being exploited or harmed. It's a real ethical dilemma. Some people believe that as long as animals are treated humanely, it's okay to use them for entertainment or companionship. Others believe that animals have a right to exist independently of humans and that using them for our own purposes is inherently wrong. And there's a lot of gray area in between. Things like animal testing for medical research also fall into this category. What do you think about it? There are no right or wrong answers, and I'm really interested in hearing your perspective.
Okay, that's great. Okay, and my last question from you. Please give me advice for people.
Okay, a large question? Advice for people. That's broad. All right, here goes. If I could give one piece of advice to everyone, it would be this: practice empathy. Truly try to understand things from other people's perspectives, even if you disagree with them. I can, yeah, we both like, I just know had to do. It's so easy to get caught up in our own thoughts and feelings, but taking the time to see the world through someone else's eyes can be incredibly powerful. It can help you build stronger relationships, resolve conflicts, and create a more compassionate world. And also, be kind to yourself. We are all flawed and make mistakes. Treat yourself with the same compassion and understanding that you would offer a friend. That's probably two pieces of advice, actually, but they go hand in hand. It's about both looking outward and inward. Does that resonate with you?
Okay, that's great. So this was our Maya. I hope you like it, and we thank everyone. And